guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I will be reviewing Orphan First Kill, now streaming on Paramount Plus and in theaters. Orphan First Kill is actually a prequel to the original Orphan film that came out in 2009. It's one of those movies that kind of has a special place in a lot of horror fans' hearts. The twist at the end was incredibly well done. The acting was well done, and I have to say, this movie is another solid outing for this franchise. Like I said, this takes place before the original film. So in this one, you're seeing Esther escape from her prison, from her mental institution that she's being held into. In this movie, she's disguising herself as the missing child of an American family. So obviously, she's doing up to her same old tricks. She's trying to kind of get an in with this family, kind of make her way in her life in her own little weird psychotic way. And I wasn't sure how they were going to pull it off because the first one worked so well because of the twist at the end. But I think this one has its own unique twist and kind of reverses roles for the character in a really interesting way. Isabel Fuhrman reprises her role as Esther. She was fantastic in the first film, especially playing that character at such a young age. Obviously now she's substantially older, but she's still able to pull it off. It's a little less convincing because she is in her 20s now compared to being, I think it was 10 or 11 in the first film and playing someone in their 30s. But it still works. She's still convincing. And they use a lot of forced perspective to make her look small because she actually is, I think, I looked it up. She's like 5'3" or 5'4", so she's not as short as she looks in the films. So I think they're able to do it in a way that's convincing without using a lot of CGI. It was kind of, like I said, some forced perspective and some practical ways of making it look very convincing. But she gives a great performance like she had done in the first film. She's just creepy. She's menacing. She's just everything you expect from this character in this just twisting way of trying to be this young girl, that kind of macabre nature of her. She has the same thing like in the first film where she's kind of trying to be a seductress in a way, and it's really bizarre, and it's something that makes the movie unique. And I think the fact that you get to see her in a different kind of position in this one, because without going into too many spoilers, we kind of turn into this cat and mouse game where she's not exactly in control of what's happening, but she's being manipulated in her own right. And I think that's one of the things that makes this movie different enough and unique enough to make it worth watching and not be like a carbon copy of the original film. Julia Stiles plays the mother in this film, and I also think that she does a really good job. It's really well acted on her part because, like I said, without going into too many spoilers, you get to see her play almost a more menacing character, someone who is deeply disturbed in a way. Same thing with, the son in the family. The father's a little bit oblivious, so he's a little separated from the story, but I think the mother and the son in particular are just, it's so unique and just a very fresh perspective on the story. The cinematography is not bad. The movie is really, really dark. I had to make sure I had all the lights off because it's very gloomy and very there seems almost like a fog over the lens of all times. It's a very dark film, similar to the vein of the first one. But you do have some intense moments. This is a thriller. It really hangs its hat on building tension, having some twists and turns along the way, and some really solid performances. So I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect when I see, there's like another Orphan film coming out. I'm like, how are they going to do this, so many years later? I don't know how you kind of have lightning in a bottle twice, but I do think it's really good. Is it as good as the first film? I don't necessarily think so. I think the acting might actually be a little bit better. It's very unique and very different, but I think the twist is one of the things that makes the first movie so special, even though they try to do it and kind of recreate a different twist in this one. So if I were to rate Orphan First Kill, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was way better than I expected it to be. It's not as good as the first film. The performances are still really good. Isabel Fuhrman gives another great outing in this one. And I do like the twists in the storytelling. So just on that alone, I think it's worth checking out. So if you watched Orphan First Kill, let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it as much as the first one? Did you like it more or less? Leave those comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe. And see you guys next time.